to Sand City Sports on this Saturday, March Madness Final Four. How you doing out there? How is everybody doing out there? Okay, let's make sure the Facebook is good. I see Twitter is good. Wonderful. Here we go. Duke versus Houston. Yes. How's everybody doing on this Saturday? Very good. Very good. We know YouTube is where it needs to be. Excellent. Our socials are. Yes, sir. Socials are good across the board. Welcome to Sand City Sports. To the business on the Saturday evening edition. We just saw one Final Four game, one SEC battle get finished, conclude. The round mound of rebound of one Mr. Charles Barkley. My heart goes out to you and the Auburn Tigers. Great season, good battle. But the Florida Gators of Todd Golden fame, young coach, not yet 40. I don't even know if he's close to 40, mid-30s. Have to get that for you. I know John Shire is 37. Todd Golden, younger. Then let me go ahead and confirm that. But the Florida Gators are advancing to the Natty. Who they will face remains to be seen. Okay, Todd Golden, the pride of Phoenix, Arizona. Okay. Got roots in the Southwest. I have family in Arizona. Todd Golden is taking the Florida Gators to the Natty. Duke Houston about to get underway momentarily. And hey, what is it? It's fierce out there. Okay, these number one seeds. Game was just nip and tuck. And then down the stretch, both teams having opportunities. A lot of jump balls. We had a couple nickel dimers, I felt. Right? Clayton goes to the basket, creates contact. Yeah, I don't know about that one. And let's just be clear, the referees did a tremendous, outstanding job. But the point is, it was just back and forth down the stretch. All right. And the Gators simply made more plays. That they shine when they needed to. And we're gonna go straight through the whole way of the Duke Houston game while we talk about what's going on in the world of sports. Let me just get the setup straightened out. I want to be able to tune in, have it on a couple different. Okay, this one says it's coming on, so we're gonna get the game on to be able to watch. Got to get the right particular. Okay, we'll see. But tip-off is forthcoming. Okay, so March Madness, Final Four. I hope people were tuned in. I know people were tuned in last night for the South Carolina Gamecocks going up against the Texas Longhorns on the women's side. Very competitive matchup. Longhorns have a Hooper Booker that was just out there getting buckets, not to be denied. Got 3 fouls in the first half, but was still, moving and grooving and taking care of business. Second half, South Carolina slowly but surely moved away and ended up winning handily. The UConn Huskies, capable leadership of Gino Auriemma, 11 championships, if I'm not mistaken. Many more Final Four appearances, and they just came out, and the UCLA Bruins never got going. Okay, first quarter, second quarter, by halftime, UConn had established double-digit, 20-point or their lead, and the Bruins just could not get off the ground. The inside game going through bets was not happening, and so we have the people wanted to see what I wanted to see. These two. Now, Dawn, I wanted to say two luminaries. This is more important for Dawn Staley, as far as I'm concerned. Okay, this Gino, Dawn Staley's going for 3 and 4 years, and we know the one that she didn't get. Okay, that was Caitlin Clark's doing. Okay, and that was when South Carolina Gamecocks were favored handily. I said it and I say it again. The Caitlin Clark legend was not supposed to be. That was South Carolina's year. That was Aaliyah Boston's year. Okay. No, that's not going to do. When we're trying to get the live, seeing if we can get the live action, Duke and Houston. Game is underway, just kicking off. We're going to have I'm looking for the right broadcast. See if I can lock in. We're going to keep after it. But on the women's side, let me see if I can reverse. I got to get the right search. Let me go ahead and say live. Can we get a space here? We know the game is on CBS. CBS, work with me. No, we have. Okay, a bunch of different, right? Because I'm on the. We'll see. We might have to just get the score, which is not optimal. It's funny how they have the different gaming on YouTube. People are gaming. Going forward, we might have to switch this setup in the second half. I'm sorry. The setup may have to be switched even before the second half. We might have to, just because I don't know if I can miss this. I got to see this. I got to see this game live and in full effect. So apologies on the technical difficulties for 1 second. I might be able to stand the first half. Let me see if this one will still. No, this is. I'm learning the hard way here. Okay, that's fair enough. Fair enough. We're gonna do some things technically. We're gonna be following this. These cams. I can just go on. I can just go on different. No, we saw the Auburn game. I don't need a replay of the Auburn game. We're looking for the Duke. Okay. I'm going to leave this be. And then we're going to do some things technically, making sure that we're going into the second half and have everything. So Houston is up 3-0 to start with. I got a mind. I might have to correct this because I don't know if I can miss. I don't know how much of this Final Four that I can miss, honestly. So I might have to get this right immediately. Fans, people out there, television land, what do you think? Do we? I don't think. I have to see the. You know what I mean? I can't stand to. So we're gonna do some technical things. Sand City Sports, by and for the fans. Just give me a second. My setup has to be improved. I'm learning the hard way. 3-2, Houston, but I can't miss any. I can't allow for it. I can't allow for it. So we're gonna do some technical things. Stick with me, people. Sand City Sports Unity Day. Be 1 second. We're gonna get this straightened out. Oh yes. From here. up. We're going to HD2. Here to there. And I think, hold on. I think we might be in the. Yes. Okay, we're where we need to be. Had to, woo! We back, folks. We back. Had to make a little switcheroo. Had to go boop, 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 over. And 3-2 Houston. We got the game live and in full effect. Just had to make a from 1 to 2. Let's see. We got one foul and one foul. Good. Cooper to the basket. I like the no call. And we off. We off and running. All right. So you're watching the game. I'm watching the game. I'm liking these no calls early on, refs. Hold the whistle. Hold that whistle. Yes. Yes. Okay, we're going to do one more possession. 3-2, Houston. Jump step. Missed. Okay, Cooper flags on the move. All right, folks, so you're watching it. I'm watching it. We're locked in. Okay, what did they say, Duke? Okay, missing on that one. We said we have the immovable object versus the undeniable force. I get the one on there. But that's this game. Listen, Houston has held all but a handful of their opponents under 75 points. Duke only been held under 75 points a handful of times. All right, so Duke is out there running and gunning. They want to score the basketball. They play in the 80s and 90s. Houston wants this game in the 60s and 70s. All right, so that's going to be the check. Can Houston slow down Duke and make this just a knockdown, drag-out game? Or can Duke do what they've done, which is just force teams to get into a track meet, to force teams to get into a shootout with them, at which point in time. And that was, now let's make a distinction here, okay? Because Alabama, who hit upwards of 23s, okay, and just tearing the net off of the rim, Alabama known banks on getting buckets, not a defensive, okay, grind, slow down, stop, rebound, hold you to one possession type of a team. That is Houston's bread and butter. That's what they specialize in, okay? And let's be clear, Duke, coming from the Coach K tradition, John Shire also from the greater Chicago area. We've discussed this. Coach K, Chi-Town, in inner city, Chicago. Check the receipts. The rise and reign of Coach K. Read it. Okay, but John Shire, and by the way, greatest high school basketball tradition in these United States, Chicago Public League. Okay, said it and I'll say it and I'll say it again. Shout out to Hoop Dreams. Okay, so that's what Coach K is. That's the cloth that Coach K is cut from. John Shire, greater Chicago area. Okay, we've talked about him as a ball player. Why am I going on and on? Duke getting the three-point game going. Driving kick. Canepo. Why am I going on and on about this? Duke plays that. They play that man defense. They play that lockdown defense. So this Duke team roster, most talented as far as I'm concerned, just forced another turnover, getting out and running to the basket, rebound action, offensive rebound. Houston, Cooper get it. Houston is out running. Houston's turning them over. 6'5" Cougars. They turning them over. All right, so this is going to be, as I said, Duke is capable defensively as much as they can just light it up and get buckets. Right? Houston right now holding Duke to one basket, which is huge because Houston defensively, they're going to hold you to one shot. Now, scoring, can they score? I don't think it's a question who has more firepower. It's clearly Duke. All right, but if the Blue Devils can slow them down, which that's a weakness for Houston, Cooper, rhythm three, clink, 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 right? So Duke is coming out. They move. They can score. Okay, Houston's better defensively, but Duke is no slouch. Again, back to Coach K, back to the Chicago, just We playing that lockdown man, ready to help, rim protector and Maruk, okay, on the back line. Okay, and so they're stopping them and they're getting out and running. And now they get into the half court. Okay, Proctor, throw it up, buckets. Okay, 10-6 Duke. That's what it's going to come down to. Duke is scoring right now, and they're gonna score. Houston has to either keep up with them scoring wise or just stop these bad boys from scoring. Because back to the Alabama game, Duke slowed Alabama down. They got out. They put that hand up on the 3-point line. They weren't going to just let Alabama shoot rhythm threes all day. And Alabama never got into a rhythm. Okay, Houston, 10-8. Alabama never got into a rhythm with their high-powered offense. And then so Duke just cruised away from them. Bama made a run to cut it down the stretch. But then Duke had enough cushion to go ahead and win the game. So it's a beautiful thing. I'm looking for this one to go down the stretch. Is my heart hurting for Coach Pearl right now? I've already discussed that. Cooper, rhythm, no, we're off. All right, I was for the veterans. I'm for the veterans. All right, John Shire, we talked about it. Okay, John Shire is riding this modern NIL transfer portal. And by the way, folks, we will be discussing it at halftime. Cooper to the basket. Did you just see what I... Cooper to the basket, attacking that rim, the pride of Maine. New England, we producing some ball players, folks. We got Cooper this year. Who coming next year? What's going on? Mr. DeBancer. Houston, missing again. Duke getting out and running. Mr. DeBancer of Brockton fame. AJ, Utah Prep, BYU, $5 million in the NIL base pay. Duke is scoring. Coach Sampson is on the court. He's talking to his team. Or the yelling and screaming, Coach Sampson, and that's my pick right there. Excuse me. Duke 9-2 run. Cougars to the line. All right. If Houston cannot slow Duke down, okay, and Duke doesn't seem like they're gonna allow, Duke is saying right now we going up to fifth gear. We this is going to be a track meet. This is going to be a shootout. Can Coach Sampson, and I saw a great just looking at the pregame festivities, it was great to see, Coach Sampson talking about, coaching with his son. His daughter is there, because all these college teams now, again, 2,000 names in the transfer portal. We will be discussing that at halftime, going into the transfer portal. 2,000 names, changing face of college basketball, all of that. So every single one, and we saw it at the first that I saw, and back to John Shire on the cutting edge, doing the things that need to be done, not poking his lip out because the world has changed and college basketball has to change along with it. Where am I going with this? Duke has a general manager. And now you're hearing about all these college teams. I was going to say the A word, not my name, Andre, but amateur. Ain't nothing amateur about this. Hasn't been anything amateur about this since time immemorial. Let's just stop that. Okay. But every single one of these colleges now, general managers, yes. And they should have had general managers since as soon as the change was made. Shout out to LeBron James. Shout out to the shop. Shout out to Gavin Newsom. Are we going deep into politics? No, we're not. But that's where the NIL revolution began. The shop, Gavin Newsom, LeBron James, California saying this is long overdue. We're allowing it. End of story. And then everyone else followed suit. Similar to how during the pandemic year, and the Ivy League said we're not playing and stuck with that. SEC said we're playing, period. We ain't even considering not playing. Big Ten said we're not, and then teams said, Now, okay, SEC, make sure you have but the SEC said we're gonna find a way. We're gonna have health and safety protocols. We're playing, period. And then other conferences, most notably the Big Ten, said let's wait a minute, okay. And we had a college football season, and we had a college basketball season, okay. And I thought that was the best thing. Okay, we had to have the health and safety protocols, and we had to do it the right way, but we were able to have a season, thankfully, during those once in a generation time. A tradition unlike any other. It's already April, man. The Masters, the Boston Marathon is coming up. Time is flying. It's a beautiful thing. Okay, it's a beautiful thing. How did I skip? Let's get back to Duke and Houston. See, Coach K is in the building. John Shire, we know what we started on this. Okay. A new coach for this new generation. And every team, you got to have what you call him a general manager, whether you call him a director of basketball operations. That's the title that Kelvin Sampson's daughter has at Houston. But you need somebody just GMing this thing 24/7, 365. Because the fact of the matter is, and we talk about, we had a clip that we showed on the last episode. We talk about the right and the left. We talk about the blue and the red. We talk about this culture and that culture. A lot of time it come down to green. Shout out to John Hope Bryan. He's out there just giving bars. Okay, in terms of our conversations. Hopefully we can have conversations. Sports related, society related. Yes, I said it politically, but hopefully we can talk. We can talk as people. I see it this way. You see it that way. This is why I believe this. This is why I believe that. Hopefully we can have conversations, people. That's why, hopefully. Okay? A lot of it is echo chamber, just people just talking past everybody, just bombing this one over to this side, this one over to that. We don't actually talk. We don't actually talk. Hopefully we can have some conversations. That's what Sand City Sports. That's what I hope. If you want to conversate, you don't have to, and we already know what time it is. Let me just check. Sand City. I see my viewer on Facebook. I appreciate you. Like, comment, subscribe, jump in the comments. Tell me what you want. What do you want to talk about? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Did you agree? You disagree? What is it? This is a Final Four. This is the Final Four weekend. We had Final Four Friday. This is Saturday. We're getting to it right now. But hopefully we can have actual conversations on things to see if we can increase understanding, increase the body of knowledge, maybe even, dare I say, increase the collaboration. One nation under God, indivisible. Okay? Yeah, you support this one. I support that. Okay, what do you like about this one? What do you like about that one? This is where I'm at. This is where you're at. And then we kind of come together. That's the whole project. I'm just as guilty as the next person of not being receptive. Okay? But it doesn't, at the end of the day, you're not receptive. You don't work together. You don't get stuff done. Things don't get done. We have more issues. Where am I going with this? John Hope Franklin said it's not about the red, not about the blue, not about the black, not about the white, not about this culture, that few. It's about green. Dollar bills, y'all. That's what a lot of this comes down to at the end of the day. Period. And specific to college sports, that is what we're seeing is moving the needle. 2,000. How many college basketball players are there in general? That's what I got to know. I got to look that up. But 2,000 of them are in the transfer portal. There's only 12 on a team. Maybe 15 with the manager, if we include the water boy. 2,000 are in the transfer portal? That means everybody's declaring free agency? You didn't like your dorm room? You didn't get enough. I don't even know what they do. You didn't get enough granola bars in the snack line? You know how these colleges do. We got to get that for you on the screen. It's a lot of you're putting a lot of time in, but these athletes are taken care of. You up at 6 o'clock to get that first workout, but then they go to the cafeteria and they get them calories in that good school. Ooh, by the way, for my college students out there, and this was college people, you know that buffet lunch was good when you was in college. You know them buffet lunches was, and then I go to college now. These cafeterias, man, they are throwing down. I remember when they used to have omelets on the weekends. When I was that was a big deal. You can get an omelet, you can get it just like you wanted it on you going on a Sunday and got your home fries, and I had all the orange juice I wanted. My metabolism a bit different in those days. Houston getting them out in transition. Missing the layup. That's not going to do, Houston. Houston, you better get rid of these jitters. You better get rid of them. Come on. It's a bunny. You should have made it. Another thing we talk about, we've noted, and I've said Duke is the most talented. They're deep. Another thing you have to talk about when you're talking about Duke, bar none, they're a big team across the board. Look at their starting lineup. James, 6'5", bodyguard. Proctor, 6'4", 6'5". Coop, 6'9", 6'8". Canepo, 6'7", 6'8". Maruk, 6'10", 6'11". Right, and they're bringing size. Right, so Duke, they're just big, athletic. You know what I mean? Across. So what that says is Houston, known for the grittiness, the toughness, the defense, the rebounding. Duke can get down there and bang and board up right with you. Canepo, bucket, Duke up 7. Okay. Again. And I see some veteran refs on this game. I see we got a veteran crew. I love, you know what I mean? I'm seeing some refs that I respect. Some refs that understand game management. Some refs that understand that millions of people have tuned in for a ball game. That's why they tuned in. We step in, we get the elephants as a good official. I'm leaving the mice alone. We here for the elephants, and then we're gonna play a game. We're gonna play a ball game today. Okay, and then sometimes I gotta tell folks, as a veteran referee told me, especially at this, you know what I mean? This is big boy basketball. It's for the big boys. Okay? It's for the grown folks out there. Okay, so don't come crying and you know what I mean with this whole load management, ticky tack, none. This for big boys. That's out here, for the grown folk. So you take it to the basket strong. Don't go looking at me for a call. Take it strong. Okay, don't look to me because you can't finish a layup with a little bit of contact. Don't look to me because you can't handle a little some ball pressure. Okay. We're bringing that Hoya paranoia right now. That clink, we're gonna be on you. And I'm seeing the referees out there to understand that. So we're going to, facilitate a good game, a good ball game. That's what we saw down the stretch. A couple, again, I didn't really love the charge call on Broom. One you got, no. Just pick yourself up. That contact is just because you fell down. I don't mean it was no charge. That every game, you getting at least one bump. Now, if they come with the extension or they come with an elbow, that's one thing. But you're gonna have to take one bump in the post. Don't do. Now you can stay on the ground as far as I'm concerned. No, because if we call that every single play, anytime there's one bump, then that's a foul. Then every single big man will be out. So I didn't love that foul call on Broom down the stretch in the Auburn game. A very well officiated game. The better team won. But then he was put to the line shortly thereafter. I love the call because he was attacking the basket, Broom, right? And then there was the box out and they were kind of simultaneous. The refs got that one right, as far as I'm concerned. Okay, because had the shot come off the rim, then we can call that on the rebound action. But there was a foul on the shooting action, so they called the foul. Broom went to the line. What did he do at the line, folks? He missed both of them. Yes, he did. What happened with Texas Tech down the stretch? Was they making free throws? Okay, if it's and butts were candy and nuts, we'd all have a Merry Christmas. All right, good official. Both teams had their chances. That's what good officiating comes down to. both teams having their chances, right? And you make your free throws, you can win a game. You don't make your free throws, you did it to yourself. This man Clayton, Florida, say what ice water down the stretch. All right. So Florida, the better team. Again, respect to the new generation. Golden, 39 years old, make it to a natty. I'm pulling for Coach Sampson. I was pulling for Coach Pearl. Just you know what I mean. The better team is going to win. We could have a championship game, folks, with a 39 and 37-year-old coach. Crying, complaining. Not that everybody's crying and complaining, but the world has changed. Look at this young Con Canepa. At the 2015 Natty, won by the Duke Blue Devils. Young Con. And I didn't, see Coach K is in the building. Canepa, he's coming back to Duke. And he's going to be there next year with the Boozer brothers. But he was not what Cooper was in high school. He was a good player. He was on the EYBL circuit, but he had to shine on the EYBL circuit to get, he's a player that, okay. Houston's in trouble early. 10 minutes. They're down 9. Duke is scoring that thing. They're not slowing Duke down, which means Houston's got to get in their offense and got to generate some offense. Okay, they play us, again, Houston wants to play in the 60s, 70s. Duke is trying to run and gun. So if Duke is out there running and gunning, Houston, you gotta good whistle. No, this game is starting off to me, folks, like what we saw in last night's game between UConn and UCLA. UCLA wanted to play inside-out power game. And UConn and Gino said, you're not doing that. I'm taking away the high-low. Do something else. And they couldn't. All right, and Duke up 9 now. Last night, UConn, they just 7, 9, 11. They just cruised away from them. Rebound action, rhythm 3, Proctor. Good luck. More rebound action. Duke, come on. Proctor, floater. Multiple attempts. Houston coming in, okay. Struggling. Houston, you're supposed to be defensive. My man Tom Thibodeau, wherever he is, he's not happy about this. He's not hearing it. He's not having it. You're not holding them to one shot. And then offensively, Houston wants, you know what I mean? And Mike, it's going to have to get to the point. You got to get into your offense. You got to get into your scheme. If you want to, because what I'm saying here is if Houston wants to play this Big East Virginia methodical offensive game and it's taking them 20 and 30 seconds to score, okay, whereas Duke is just coming down, scoring in the flow of the game, scoring in transition, like that's another thing. You're not getting as many possessions. All right. There's Houston here. Drive, contested, missed, rebound action. No. It's a good block. Okay. So we shall see. We are seeing. It's a beautiful thing. That was clean. Maruk not having it. Duke's tough. It's not just Coop. They got a couple first round picks. And it's gonna be interesting. I think Maruk might be back next year too. You put Maruk with Boozer, Cam, who's the power forward, with Maruk in the front court. And they're keeping these other players. Duke is not losing players in the transfer portal. That brotherhood is strong. They're not losing Canepo. They're not losing players in the transfer portal. They're not having that. Okay, that brotherhood. We'll get this for you on the screen because you need to be seen. Coach K, so Duke is up 8. You're watching it. I'm watching it. It's a beautiful thing. Final Four Saturday. March Madness. James is tough. Coop, Top of the line, straight line drive, passes it off. Good defense. Good defense on Houston's part. Good block. We in the transition. So I hope everybody out there is doing well. Like, comment, subscribe. Sand City Sports. Houston. That's what I'm talking about. Early offense, rhythm 3. You heard me? Right? They got into it. Bye-bye. We see him. He's open in rhythm. Let it. Okay? If the game's going to be faster, all right, Duke. Houston running in transition. Down 5. To the basket. Quick rhythm. Get him. Rebound action. Kick it out. Okay, so this is a good possession for Houston. Now we go inside. Okay. Good matchup. Yep, that's the bucket. We had Cooper. Cooper don't want it in the post. He don't want it, right? We move it out. We got the isolation coverage. Timeout, Duke. Hey, shout out to Shane from Des Moines. I appreciate you. Maryland Militia. I appreciate it. Very much so. Interesting. I'm seeing some things on the social media I gotta follow up on. I did not give word. Okay, just getting the update. Okay. Okay, because I referee, just making sure everything is good. I didn't get the word out. Let me just make sure I get the word out, just to make sure the people know if they want to jump on. Just let folks know. My apologies on that. And then, of course, I don't see anything in the chat. People go ahead and jump in the chat. Always. Let me just check my socials. Couple people I see. Hey, I see some people on Facebook that's rocking with me. I appreciate you. Let me know what you think. Feel free, jump in the comments. Holla at your boy. You like this? You don't like that? It is what it is. I can take it. That's what this is about. It's a conversation, folks. Okay? What do they say? How do they say it? You know what I mean? They say Mikasa is Sukasa. When it comes to Sand City Sport, Mikasa is Sukasa. Let me know what you think. You're welcome. This might not be, you might, let's do. I appreciate it. I got a couple things I need to say. We're gonna be here, folks. I got a few things I need to speak on. We're gonna be here. But this is interactive. This is buying for the fans. So please let me know. And we're always trying to get better and make it and do the things that we need to do. Okay. I got a lot of tabs open, that's what I'm known for that. But let's go ahead and Duke Brotherhood earnings. You know what I said. Can I get some imagery? Can we get total earnings? Because it has to be a graphic. No. No. Calvin Sampson doing the interview. Okay. Let me see if I can get a different search. Okay. That's 2018. Here's the imagery that I'm looking for. No. We got what we need. Houston making their move. Offensive rebound to the basket. Good block. Again, the length of Duke. Cooper. Okay, this is an ISO possession for Cooper. What's he going to do? He got to look. Off. It's a good look. Dropping stuff. Unacceptable. A lot of things. So let's come here. Don't play that situation. We're going to share. What? Cancel. Come back. What's going on? Browser needs. Let's stop that. We got screen sharing permission. Don't give me this technical difficulty nonsense. There we go. Right? This game has gotten close. We had some technical difficulties. Got to pick up my comb. Can't have it laying on the ground. Houston came back and made their move. Duke in the Maruk. Sudan. That Luol Deng connect. Right inside. This team is tough. Top to bottom. It's not just Coop. Boy Don Sire been out there getting them. That brotherhood connection. Luol Deng, class of 03, number 2 player in these United States behind who? My name is Sip. Yeah. East to west. Yeah. Rock this joint. Yeah. Most finesse. Roll call. Hey, Lincoln. Roll call. You all remember that from the Hoop Dreams? Y'all remember Hoop Dreams, Mr. Shuttlesworth? Let me get my setup right. The comb was all messed up. I didn't even realize. Can't have my setup all messed up. What's going on here? Another comb. Get my nail clipper in order. Got to get my setup straight. Getting excited. Messing things up. Okay, we're good. We're good now. Apologize for the technical difficulties, folks. Houston offensive. Houston rebounding. They boarding up again. Turnover. Okay. 6-point game. This right here, folks. Okay? The brotherhood at Duke. So, Maruk, who just put the, that banger that he just got, he's coming back next year. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. He's going to be back next year. Kneppel, he's going to be back next year. Oh, yeah. You heard it here first from your boy. They ain't doing no transfer portal at Duke. They coming back. We know Cooper's gone. He's going to be the number 1 pick. But Kneppel and Maruk are coming back. Check the receipts on that. Check them. Okay? All right? Because, if Duke wins the national championship, they may be this. But they need another year. Maruk and Kneppel need another year. They need it. Okay? And then the thing with that, why we have this on the screen, you see these people want to be there. Did Coach K give them everything that they wanted? No. But they understood this man has a positive impact on my life. I don't need to hear what I want to hear all the time. That's not how you grow. He going to challenge me and hold to that challenge. Good defense, walled up. Houston walling up. Good D in that possession, right? So when it's time to give Coach K his flowers, I want to be there. Talk about Coach K, double dose of greatness. Was a Division I basketball player out of the Chi, wanted to go to a Big Ten school. Okay? Family said you need to take yourself to West Point. Because if the NBA dream doesn't work out, how about the leadership dream? Duke. Speaking of Mr. Kneppel, Coach K said, I don't look at myself as a basketball coach. I look at myself as a leader who happens to coach basketball. Where did he get that from? Talks about going to the number one leadership institution on the planet, i.e. West Point. Needed congressional reference to get in. Didn't want to go there. Parents said, okay, you know, you want to be a tough kid and not heed. Want to do things your way all the way. Again, Duke is just getting buckets out here now. They Houston now down 11. It was just 3. What the heck happened? So Duke Pat, you know, so we told you the story. Coach K come from a Polish family, excuse me. You know, I believe his parents were second generation. No, his parents were first generation American. I don't believe his parents were born in Poland. I have to go ahead and check that. But, you know, spoke the home language in the house. You know, we living in America, and you know, but we maintaining our culture and our tradition. Speaking of America being a nation of immigrants. And so Coach K, you know, you look at him and you just think, Coach, no, he was a hooper. He was getting buckets in the Chi. Yeah. You know, don't judge that book by its cover. Coach K was giving him buckets. Big Ten offers. So that's how he saw himself. I mean, I'm a hooper out here. I do what I do on the court. That's what I do. But Coach Knight came calling because he saw that he was a hooper. Like, West Point? I ain't never heard no West Point when it comes to. I'm hearing about Ohio State. I'm hearing about Michigan. I'm hearing about Wisconsin. I'm hearing about Michigan State. I ain't hearing no about West Point when it comes to basketball. By the way, also coached at West Point, Bill Parcells. Need to get that picture for you. It's crazy. And so Coach K said, nah, I'm doing. Parents said, okay, that's how you know, because the parents saw the vision. The parents saw this. Coach K, like many young athletes, I was right with him. Young athletes see the NBA and can't see nothing else, unfortunately. Fortunately and unfortunately. It's good to have a dream. Hold on tight to it. Strive and don't let nothing turn your back. But have options. Coach K was only seeing the NBA dream. He wasn't seeing nothing else. Parents said, okay, you know, have that dream, but also have this something he wasn't hearing him. What happened? Parents said, okay, we're not going to, you know, this whole thing where we see this is instructive for this generation of parents. It's instructive. Right? Let me just double check this. I'm going on here. Let me just make sure that people know. Let me hope everyone's enjoying. I just want to make sure there's no. Final four. I hope this is because I let people know that I wasn't going to be there, but you got to double check. Hope I don't get this emergency call. What are you talking about? Because I said I was, you know what I mean? You let people know, and then the mistake that I made here that I learned is I get, is always confirmed. Even though you say something, it's so life is so busy, and I'm pretty sure that they have everybody. It's all set up, but I didn't. When the original message came out earlier in the week, I didn't say what I'm saying right now, like at 10 o'clock the night before. But even though it's late, if there is a mix up and people can't do this and that and the third, hopefully they let me know now, and I can, because you don't want to have a situation where you don't have a referee there. That's a disaster. Even though I did say I was out, but oh no, I didn't get that. We're expecting you, and it becomes a whole situation. So I put it out there. Hopefully they have their crew and they're good, and there's no shortage. Because then you got to say, okay, I can be here for this time, and then I got to go. But you get it done, taken care of early, if at all possible. My, get my setup right. Duke up 9 with the ball. 2 minutes to go. Been a good first half. And it's Duke back to their running offense. Okay. I see 8 assists on 11 buckets. Coop to the basket. Missed the bunny. Offensive nope. We talked about it, folks. They got they Coop 6'8", 6'9", missed the bucket. Got that putback. All right. Houston, I'm pulling for you. You gotta make the adjustment. Gotta hold them to the one basket. One attempt. And you're down 11 now. You're down 12. Parents are in the building. Pride of Maine. If Duke keeps extending, Houston's going to have to play faster. You're going to have to, you had it right there. You're down 3, you can play the game that you want to play. You get down 11, 12 in these single elimination games, there's your 3 contested. Good big bucket. Big bucket right there. That's a good one. Okay. And the saga continues. We keep this for you for a reason. To finish the Coach K story. Right? This land of AAU and grassroots and NIL and 8th grade phenoms and the whole 9. Coach K's parents for 2 weeks spoke Polish in the home. Exclusively. And ignored, I think is not ignored, but you don't ignore your family, distance themselves, I think what the word that I would use. In the same household, they spoke exclusively Polish. We're doing all our family functions. You come to the table, you eat, we say grace, all that stuff, okay? But the adults are here and the children are there. Ain't gonna be too much crosstalk. You want to be an adult, big man on, you're gonna do what you're going to, okay. All right. We feel strongly you're making a mistake. It's your choice. You can make it. We can't rock with you on that. We doing, adults are here. We doing our adult. They spoke Polish for 2 weeks. Mike says, he would say, bop, he don't understand. They'd be like, bop, 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 Mike. Bop, 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 stupid. Bop, 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 and they just kept it moving. Yeah, we talking about you. Go fold your clothes. Go sweep the stairs. Okay, and finally, Cage said after 2 weeks, he was like, you know what? I'm going to West Point. And what we see in the picture, he had to deliver some of those same lessons to all these players that wanted it their way and were going to do what they were going to do. He had to deliver some of that tough love. And what's the results? At the end of the day, they wanted to come back and give Coach K his flowers. On top of that, folks, the reason I was calling him Maruk, Come on, Maluch. Apologize if I got that pronunciation wrong. Cooper to the basket. Feeding the big man. Oh, yes. So we got Flag and Maluch this year. I'm seeing Boozer and Maluch next year. Okay, now, if Duke goes ahead and wins this Natty, he's going to have a lot of NBA people. He's from Sudan, Luol Deng. But I have him coming back. Why be a late first-round pick when you can come back and dominate and be a lottery pick? A. B, the reason the Brotherhood is still up, and it's going to be up through halftime, folks. B, this Brotherhood that's strong, and you know what they talk about? Lifetime earnings. Hedge fund investments. Big three from Houston. They're huge to take it from a 9 to a 6-point game to keep it close. Duke wasting time. They want one possession. Okay. So it's not you're going to do your time at Duke and, you're going to receive that tough love. But life after Duke, you're going to be a part of Proctor. Rhythm had a good look. Good possession. Didn't execute. So whatever you earn after you leave Duke, all that, you can place that in our investments, our collective investments, and watch it grow. Okay? We're supporting you in your time while you're here and in your life after basketball. We see Jay Will, number 2 overall pick, ready to take the league by storm. Had the unfortunate motorcycle accident, cut his career short. Bobby Hurley, another all-world. This is played in the NBA. Name escapes me. I'm going to get it right now. His name. He was a good player out of Philly. Then he had a good run in the NBA. Undersized forward. Name escapes me at the moment. Seeing Emil Jefferson over here, coach for the Boston Celtics. See a number of faces in the back. Nate James, 2001 championship team. Quinn Cook was on the 15 Natty team. You see Sheldon Williams over here, the landlord, was on the 04 team with Luol Deng that lost to UConn. Okay? You're going to be a part of this brotherhood. We're going to make sure that you have the support, the investments, the financial security, the financial stability going forward. All right? Long time, Coach K did not want to do the whole one and done thing. Then, like a leader, he stepped back. He saw what the lay of the land was, the times that were changing, and he adjusted and evolved. That's why Duke has continued to be a preeminent force. There was a seamless succession, a transfer of power. And in this brave new world with 2,000 names in the transfer portal, the constant of Duke basketball remains. All right? What do they say? That hard work behind the scene that makes things look easy. But this isn't any easy task to have continuity from one coach, legendary, to another, and then specifically in this wild, uproarious, outlandish world of NIL and transfer portal that we're living in. the Brotherhood. Coop now, and I don't see a drop off next year with the Boozy Brothers at all. I don't care what those 2,000 people do, going all everywhere, in society. Duke is going to be there. Okay, so we're at the half. 6-point game. Folks, Duke had chances to really extend, right? And just pull away. Credit to Houston, they hit some big threes in the early offense. Folks in the, you know what I mean? I gotta always, I'm keeping track, you know what I mean? I'm keeping track here. People with all these different trade offers. No thanks. I'm doing much better in my fantasy baseball. Fantasy basketball was tough for me, but I held strong. I got through it, a difficult year. Talked about losing Wemby in years past. So still recovering from that. That was some bad GMing on my part. Nonetheless, hanging in there. Toughed it out. And fantasy baseball is going to be a different situation. Okay, so we're at the half. Let me just go ahead and check. A couple people rocking with me on the Facebook. I appreciate that. What the heck is going on here? My IG. I see Dr. J. Okay, good. My live is still rocking with me. It froze up on me for a second there, so my IG live is good. My other program, my others are good. Appreciate that. And I hope everybody's enjoying this Saturday night in New England. A little bit rainy, getting through. We in the April showers for the Mayflowers right now, but overall, it's good. Final Four action. Florida Gators have punched their ticket. Came through in a knockdown drag-out game against the Auburn Tigers, and right now the Duke Blue Devils and the Houston Cougars are in a battle. Duke up at the half, and it remains to be seen what type of adjustments, Coach Sampson and Coach Shire are going to bring to fore in the second half. Duke has kind of controlled the game overall. They've had the lead throughout. Houston has not really, they've been playing catch up essentially. But they stabilized themselves. They cut it to 3, went down 11, brought it back and cut it to 5 or 6. So they're right there in the mix. And this thing is going to go, to the wheels fall off, as they say. This thing is going to go down to the wire. All right, so let me just come over here quickly. Got a couple things that I want to get to that we can touch on at the half. Okay. All right. Got some Hall of Famers. Respect to Sue Bird. Respect to Dwight and Carmelo. I'm not signed into OneDrive. That is all right. Shout out to Alex Ovechkin. And we're going to shift gears now and talk a little bit as I make another mistake production-wise. Apologize. We're going to get that taken care of. Got the clicker on the floor. I don't know why that's the case. What the heck is wrong with this guy? Got things all over the place. Not organized. What did they say? What did I learn? What did we learn from Rounders? What did we learn from Rounders before we move on? Let's get that for you on the screen, folks, in terms of what we learned. Let me get that video. Right? What do they say, folks? Let's get this for you on the screen. We're at the half of Duke and Houston, Sand City Sports. We go into duration, 10:30 Saturday night. I hope everybody out there is doing well. Okay, is doing well. We're at the half right now, and we're gonna talk a little bit of NBA, talk a little bit about Hall of Fame. But in terms of slice of life, here we go from Rounders. Again, if you can't spot the sucker in your first 15 minutes at the table, then you are the sucker, my friend. Let's go to Rounders.
What do you need? 500 grand? Huh?
I need 15,000.
15.
Yeah.
I need a blowjob from Christy Turlington.
Oh, take it easy.
Get the fuck out of here. $15,000.
Watch your mouth,
Joe,
Conchitoro. Take it easy.
What can you do for me, man? I mean, $500 not even gonna get me started.
God damn it, Mike. If 500 won't help, what's $2,000 gonna do? What kind of trouble you in?
I'm the worst guy. With the worst guy.
KGB.
Yeah.
Come here. Didn't I tell you? Never let that guy get a hold of you, huh?
You told me a lot of things.
Yeah. You don't listen. I tell you to play within your means. You risk your whole bankroll. I tell you not to overextend yourself, to rebuild. You're going to hock for more. I was giving you a living, Mike. Showing you the playbook I put together off my own beats. That wasn't enough for you.
Listen, this is one time I don't need you to tell me how I fucked up. I know I fucked up. What I need from you is money. I need whatever money you can give me.
See, that's the thing. This time there is no money. I give you $2,000. What's that buy you? A day? Nah, I give it to you. I'm wasting it.
That's fucking great.
You did it to yourself.
Ooh, there it
You
is.
had to put it all on the line for some Vegas pipe
There it
dreams.
is.
Hey, I took a risk.
You did it to yourself.
You see all the angles. You never have the fucking stones to play one.
Stones. You little punk. I'm not playing for the thrill of fucking victory
Here we
here.
go.
I owe rent, alimony, child support.
Yep,
I play for money.
that's right.
My kids eat. I got stones enough not to chase cards, actions, or fucking pipe dreams of winning the World Series on ESPN. You want me to call some people? Try and buy you some time, I will. Place to stay or the truck? No problem. But about the money, I got to do this. I got to say no.
It's fine. I understand.
Oh, where we at? What'd he tell? You did it to yourself. When we get in our situations, when we go through our go-through, do we take a look at the mirror, man? Do we have, what are they talking about? They're talking about, do we have the, I ain't gonna say what they said, do we have the courage to look in the mirror, talk to the mirror, man? Okay, you did it to yourself. By the way, check out Rounders. Okay, in this brave new world where we don't have Blockbuster, I can't, you know what I mean? So you gotta find, like, where can I find it? Is it on Netflix? Is it on Hulu? Is it on Amazon? Check it out if you haven't seen it. Do yourself a favor. Okay. Also, in this, young people don't understand The Usual Suspects is another. Just they're not indie films, but they're just classics. Check it out. Do yourself, young people out there. But I always go back to that. If you can't spot the sucker in your first 15 minutes at the table, then you are the sucker, my friend. Think they said you can't see the angles. When we learn from Carlito's Way, you can't see the angles, you in trouble. You are in trouble. And when you do get in trouble, Okay, yes, you want a friend indeed is a friend indeed. I get all of that, and you know what I mean. But at the same time, if you watch the film, you'll see how that developed. Okay, your friends, and they are your true friends, ain't always gonna be able to bail you out. Not always gonna happen that way. They're not always gonna be able to get you out. So he said you did it to yourself. So he had to find a way. Matt Damon, speaking of the Commonwealth, we're happy for Coop. Coop is not Massachusetts. Coop is Maine, but he's a New Englander. Certainly a New Englander. And you will be seeing Coop this year. You're going to be seeing a lot of AJ next year. Now, I don't think that BYU is going to be competing for a Natty. Don't hold me to that because I don't know what they have in the mix. Okay, but you're going to be hearing a lot from Brigham Young University next year. We're hearing a lot from them. Because they, again, Brave New World, 6-point game coming into halftime, right? They weren't even on DeBance's list. But that's where he's going. $5 million bag. He was at Prolific Prep. Utah Prep came and said, hey, I know, nobody's heard of, we'll come and consider what we have to offer. So can you consider it? They considered it and they, and made him an offer. He said, he meaning we, meaning the family. His dad, Ace DeBanca, right? It's a family operation. This is, again, I don't think that AJ gets, let's get this for you on the screen. I'm talking, but I'm not sharing. I want to get to this NBA because I have strong feelings about the Hall of Fame that I want to share once the game gets back on. Speaking of, see if we can get AJ and his dad. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Close that out. Right? Talk a little bit about rounders. Let's talk about All in the Family. Let's talk about All in the Family and what we're going to be seeing next year, folks. We're seeing a lot of this young man here. The pride of what? Brockton. What do we call Brockton around here? It's the home of the Rock. As in Rocky Marciano. That's the home of Marvelous. As in Marvelous Marvin Hagler. Again, I'm coming from the Cape. I'm not tried and true. I'm not a, okay? So don't, I'm not from, but respect just being somebody that lives in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. You feel, and, we battle. We play sports, Barnstable and Brockton. Time-honored tradition, of getting after it. Division I teams. Brockton, which people in Massachusetts know, is one of the largest high schools in America. Largest high school east of the Mississippi for some time, 4,000 kids. The Brockton Boxers, right? But that's where AJ is from. Started off at St. Seb's in Needham, right? An ISL school. Okay, local guy playing for a local prep school. Did his thing there, and then he moved, up the ladder. Went to Prolific Prep. Put him on a national circuit. Plays on whatever the NIB, whatever the Nike program is that Nike has, the Nike High School, whatever that is. That's where he was playing for Prolific Prep of Jalen Green fame. Utah Prep, not really known. Utah Prep is not a Montvert. They're not a Prolific. They're not, we don't have St. Anthony's anymore, unfortunately. They're not a Brewster Academy. Utah Prep, they haven't really been on the national scene in terms of consistently producing players ever. They are now because they came over to Ace. This is Ace. I don't know his mom's name. Sorry. And Ace, in terms of the things that's going to go on. No. The AAU coach ain't running this. The NIL, and this is all in the family. You got deals you want, you speak to me, the father and the mother. You speak to me. Anybody that has an idea, a concept, a theory, a grandiose, and you speaking to me. I love this. A little bit different, you don't see Ace all in the headlines and he's not out front, but behind the scenes in terms of the business, and business is good, i.e. AJ $5 million base pay next year. I'm hearing upwards of 8-9 mils to take his talents to BYU. That's what I'm hearing. But base salary is 5 mils. Okay, and there's some incentives along with that. Please believe. Okay, so Utah Prep said, yeah, we doing it. Ace said, okay, what you offering? We're going to do this and that. Okay, he said, I like nice weather. Ace said, I like, to get out and do, golf and recreation. What are you offering? What are you offering? Me and my people, we wanted this, that. We're going to live, we're going to have opportunities to do the things that we need to do. Okay, certain level of comfort. Well, obviously, there's nothing guaranteed, so he's, got a long way to go. Was in the McDonald's All-American game. Did a little bit of time at McDonald's. You saw him. And whatever the circumstance needed to be, that's what it was. And it was such a good circumstance that he and BYU was not even in the conversation, but he's staying put in Utah. He's staying put. BYU, they had a decent team this year, but not, they're not, they might have just moved into a Power 5 conference, but that was just a minute or two ago. You're going to be seeing a lot of them next year, a whole bunch. Okay? And I'm all for it. I'm all for the freedoms of the market, a free market. Now, do I think, so this, not UNC, not Duke, not Bama, not Boston College. What's the deal? What are you offering? Okay? Right? Brave New World. You used to just be able, and this is what they would do. You used to just be able to bring a recruit into the gymnasium, pitch black gymnasium, and bring the recruit in, pitch black, then turn the lights on, and Michael Jordan is sitting on, at half court. Bring the recruit in. What's going on, and pitch black, turn the lights on, Michael Jordan sitting at half court. We think you should bring your talents to North Carolina. Sold. I'm going to Carolina. Sold. Now, as much as I respect Michael, and Michael Jordan's a little bit, I get that, but much as I respect and then, appreciate so on and forth, what's on the dotted line? How many millions? And the reporting that I'm hearing is 2 mils for the top tier talent. 2 mils for that, all-American, all-conference, first-round pick talent. 2 mils. Number going up. So, as much as you're going to have to be in that ballpark as the second half gets ready to get underway. Coach Sampson is in the mix right now. Underdog, no doubt about it, as far as I'm concerned. Houston is the underdog in this one. Duke, for however young John Shire is, he has the horses. He's got the talent. Talent, it favors Duke. All right, let's see if Houston can. They're gonna have to bridge that with togetherness and execution. Oh my goodness. Offensive rebound to Maluch. Houston, I'm sorry. You can't keep having this. Duke is imposing. They've been imposing. You're not going to be able to catch up. You're not going to be able to play the game that you want to play. Complain to me about fouls, and you just got to start getting some stops. Shout out to AJ DeBansa. The Bansa family. Brockton, Massachusetts, City of Champions. Let's go. 3 ball. Houston shooting that 3, keeping them in contention. I like it. They hanging around. Okay. Now let's see if we can manufacture some stops to go along with it. But against Houston, not necessarily known as a sniper type of a team, but they're shooting it well. They're not rebounding. Just gave up another bunny. Let's check how everybody out there is. My people on Facebook, what is good? What's good on Facebook? I see y'all out there. I appreciate. Okay, you rocking, you doing the Final Four. You much like every time I see, sometimes people leave, but don't leave just because I give you a shout out. Rhythm 3, clank clank. Dog on it. Houston can't get out of their own their daggone way. And I see my people on IG. All right. Holla at your boy if you know what I mean. I see people. Yeah, I appreciate it. You hanging out with me. If you need, anything, I'm doing what I'm doing good, what I'm doing bad, conversation, let me know. Okay, Houston. I like this start. First 2 minutes, Houston is giving them some of that cling, you know what I mean? Give them some of the, you don't know that your boy used to have a little bit of this with me. Used to have the, you know what I mean? They come with this, then they come with that. Then they say, then you go for the deep cross, the AI cross, the deep cross. Okay? People might not know that, because right now your boy is not, I need to get myself back in there because I got a men's league coming up. So I need to get back in there. My shape. My shape is not, I'm in baseball shape is what I'm in. I'm in baseball shape, but as if I'm a power hitter, even though I can never hit the curve. But, I'm in, Kelvin Sampson, he done made some adjustments. Houston is out here. I'm liking this, okay? You tell him, Kelvin. Now you got to get some stops, but Houston has come out 2, 3. They running some offense. Now you got to slow this team down. It's tough. I'm here talking, you know what I mean? Like, not the critic that counts. I'm talking. It's not to be on the court with these guys. Duke is just, they're just talented and big and athletic. Proctor, Rhythm 3. Oh, my goodness. Proctor. Okay, I like that no call, refs. Play on. Good. Just because somebody go down don't mean we need a whistle. Let's hoop right now, Houston. ISO to the basket. Come on. But it's a good game right here. It's a good one. They out here just out here hooping. So the saga continues. Wu-Tang. I'm loving it. And this. Somebody's got to lose. Look like Cooper just continues to do his thing. Let me see. Was this Cooper gave him hezzy? Yep. He gave him some hezzy. Up fake, step. Cooper's out here getting. He out here, this is because he's not coming back. We know he's not. So this is his opportunity. Young man from Maine looks prepared, folks. That young man from Maine looked prepared. Them cold, quiet nights in the North Country. He looked prepared for his time on, Has Maine ever had a number 1 overall pick? I don't think so. And I'm even happier about this because he played AAU for a Cape Cod, played for Kevin Reed of DY fame. University of Maine, Hall of Fame. He's one of our Cape guys, even though he's a washer shore. He came through and just went to work. Okay, Houston's in some trouble now. 8, okay, offensive rebound. Don't let him run away from you now. Yep. Kelvin said, move it. The double's coming. There we go. High-low. Or short corner. That's good. So I'm like, Duke turned it up and Houston right there with him. So this one, we're being treated right now. What do they say? Don't cheat yourself, treat yourself. Another offensive rebound. Proctor. Rhythm. Are you seeing what I'm seeing here? The flag man making a statement. Flag man, Now, Houston, you got to get your get back. What does Gilbert say? Gilbert says you got to get your get back now. We've discussed that in previous episodes. I love it. Houston, okay. This is all right. You score. I'm coming. Hey, I'm getting some visions right now. What I want to do with my fantasy team, my men's league team. You know, because now you see it, you feel like when you get up, Duke is coming right back with him. We got 40-50. They running and gunning. Both teams. Both teams are turning up right now. It's great basketball. It's good to see. Again, we know the running gun game favors Duke, but Houston is adjusted. They've opened up their offense. They're getting some rhythm buckets to the basket. So Houston is scoring right with them. Kelvin Sampson stalking the sidelines. You got to get some stops. But they haven't folded. Oh, no, another 3. Rebound action. Okay. See, because Duke. Yes. Cooper. That Coop. But who to the point of the last possession for Duke. And this is again just in terms of you defend, you got it's what did Unc Shannon say? And by the way, this is a Saturday night, so we might have, you know what I mean? Nightcap is either going on or about to come on. So you guys, you know what I mean, in terms of not cheating yourself, treating yourself. I'm glad that everybody, the people that's tuning in, whoever, whatever it is, what it is. I appreciate everyone that's tuning in to Sand City Sports as we watch this Final Four matchup. It's a beautiful thing. But you got on a Saturday night, and maybe you might want to go out and do a suavemente. You know what I mean? You might want to go out, but even if you're doing that, you can always tune in just on your smartphone. Come on, check in with your boy. But Nightcap is on, so Uncle Shannon and Ocho Cinco to do a great job. So they're gonna have their different takes on what's going on. But in terms of Duke, the connection to Duke that I want to make is one of the things I got from Uncle Shannon, right? And this is one of the things that I borrow. I say, you know what I mean? If you can't beat single coverage in the NFL, NBA, whatever, if you can't beat single coverage, you're going to be coaching or selling car insurance. One of the two things. Period. End story. That was Mike Shanahan, what he told the people. I don't know if it's Mike Shanahan or Dan Reeves. I get confused. I have to go back. But you can't beat that single coverage, folks. You can't play for me. Okay, we scheming these things up, but if you're off, and we know that Shannon Sharp, Hall of Famer. Okay. 3 Super Bowls that he got himself, tight end, deserving Hall of Famer. I do have some things to say about the Basketball Hall of Fame. I do. But when it comes to Uncle Shannon, those 3 Super Bowls, and they should have been more because Denver had some teams. Jacksonville came and got him one year. They did. But then that Denver team finished on the right note. John Elway went out with 2 back-to-back championships, and then he set him right off into the sunset. Then Uncle Shannon came to Baltimore and got another one. He said, you can't beat single coverage. You coaching or you selling car insurance, period. You better be able to beat single coverage. Now back to Duke. This team is so dangerous. You can't help off of Cooper. You can't help off of Mr. Kneppel. You can't help off of Proctor. James can shoot the three, and he's a bodyguard. So everybody has that single coverage. So as soon as you crack the paint, right? This is how Dallas made it to the finals before the disaster took place and them getting rid of Luka. Before, like you spread them out with 5 out. So that means Luka's got single coverage. So barbecue chicken. When I see the single coverage, what that Shaq man say, that's barbecue chicken. We eating now. That barbecue chicken, we gonna eat. You don't put this one man on me. That's disrespectful. All right, we gobbling that up. That's barbecue. Cook them up, crispy. Barbecue. So Duke, right? Single coverage. Once you crack the paint and force help, they got Maluch, however you want to pronounce it, for the lob. He's just there. You know what I mean? It's tough. They're just a tough team. You got to guard everybody, but as soon as somebody breaks coverage, Kneppel to James. What did we just see? 2 bodyguards, big burly. Shout out to John Shire. We're just gonna get down. We're gonna body you, get to the block, and they're just bigger and stronger. Edge you out and and finish the bucket. So back to 10. Houston is hanging in there. Duke is, Okay, what do we got? 12. We got 13. So we got plenty of time. Plenty of time for the game. Plenty of time on Sand City. It's a beautiful thing right now. Okay. Okay, Houston running it. Guard too much. Kick it. Guard. Yep. I can dig it. Kick it. No. Cooper anticipating to the basket. Drawing the foul. Right? Again, a bigger. I love that. Okay. We're not running to the 3-point line. We're running to the hoop. Running to the basket. Go ticky-tack. Is it a shooting foul? Okay, they gave him a shooting. Might have been on the floor. You give him shooting, okay. It's my thoughts. Two for two, 12 points. Appreciate everybody that's tuned in. Do we have anything? A couple reactions. I appreciate the reactions on the Facebook. Facebook is good. It's kind of frozen. I can't see myself. I should be able to. Let me refresh. All right, good. Had to refresh it. We still doing live. Couple people that's rocking with us. Appreciate you. Okay. As we come on down the home stretch, the IG is good. Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, all good. And Duke is up 12. Long way to go. I want to talk a little bit as we're finishing up this game. Can I get some imagery? NBA, let me see. We have the 2025. Let me see if I can. I'm seeing a couple. Shout out to Billy Donovan. Again, one of the arguments that when you talk about the Basketball Hall of Fame, the Basketball Hall of Fame, first of all, has it been? Excuse me. They put the 2008 team in, the Redeem team. Mickey Aronson, Heat owner. Danny Crawford, referee, deserving. Cynthia Fowles, Billy Donovan, I can rock with it. Maya Moore, most definitely. Maya Moore gets forgotten in terms of the greatest basketball players, greatest women's basketball players of all time. Okay? All right. So, let me see if we can get this imagery for the people during the TV intermission here. And a little bit of okay. The 5 NBA Hall of Fame class. Can I get some? I know who the headliners are. Can we have everybody in one single picture? As Coop de Loop goes to the line. All right, Carmelo. All right. We'll look for. And then this poor technical difficulties. Just talking about one person. Duke is pushed it to 14. Houston is in a pinch. Missed the 3. Need this one. They need it. Got it. Good stuff. Okay, can we get this? No. All right, good. Because sometimes we're still live on the IG. I can't do anything IG related, or it messes up the Facebook. So we can't use that one. We can't use. Okay, I got 3. I can't use anything IG related. Learned that the hard way. So we're just gonna do this. This is what sometimes. Houston wanted a foul. Don't talk about fouls. Stop somebody. You're crying about a foul, Houston, and you give Cooper another bucket. Stop it. Stop it. 10 minutes to go, down 13. It's time to get buckets. Cry about no doggone foul. You better get your behind back on defense. What's the matter with you? Houston, yup. Swing it. All right, it gets late early, folks. You got to cut into this 13-point lead. You're not going to have enough time to recover. You're down 13. Now John Shire says, slow it down. Now Duke wants to play deep into the clock. Rightfully so. And don't let him get a doggone offensive rebound. Bad turnover. Rhythm 3. Missed. Good rebound, and we're running the other way. Oh, James to the... Oh, James hit the floor hard. James is hurt. That's a real injury, folks. That's a real injury for James. He's got to come out. He's got the dreads, but his head snapped back. That's a real injury. He's got to come out. Because this you don't like to see these. And he wasn't able. He got knocked off of his balance, and he couldn't. That's no. That's a bad fall. Ah. That's one of these things where Fort, you know what I mean? He's got to sit. Yeah, I saw it. I don't need to see it again. I hate those type of plays. I hate them. You know? And in this, because he's got hair, you know what I mean? Dreads. So something that gives you a little bit of cushion. It's not, the back of your skull hitting, and obviously it did. Yes, this was a foul. There's no two ways about it. It's a foul. You got to be, because your head's, but when you have, I think, like, that's how I feel. The football people can comment. The football players that have the dreads, they have the, and all that stuff, that give you a little bit of cushion, when you, your hair kind of gives you a little bit of extra cushion, it's not, so your head snaps back, but it, it's hit, that hair is, it's not right on the hardwood. But that was most certainly a foul. James, take a seat. Get the treatment. Get the treatment that you need. Okay? And go from there. 9 minutes remaining. Houston with the ball, down 13. It's time to go. You got to get into, they look confused. You got to get into it, and you got to, right by this time, drive and kick. Missed it. Hold them to one possession. Now, Duke, I see Kelvin Sampson. Houston's got to start pressuring these guys. Because Duke, they're going to want to slow it down. Slow it down. Play deep clock. John Shire, very good. We're playing deep into the clock now. Let's see if Duke can execute some of these late clock possessions. Okay, ease. That's a bailout, bad possession foul. 4 seconds on the clock. You don't need a foul there. You don't give him a bucket, but doggone it. Proctor, a rare miss. He's a good shooter. So if he makes, Duke is up 14, it's go time for Houston. You got to get into your offense. You got to execute your offense, and you got to get some doggone stops. For crying out loud. You got to get some stops. $14-point lead. All right. 8 minutes to go. Wow, James back in the game. That's tough. Again, head did snap back, that. So, you know what I mean? So it's not. He's able to get up and keep it pushing. Houston, you're taking too long. You are taking too long. 18 minutes. Excuse me. Good. Big three. That's what it needs to be. You know, come up, high screen roll. You don't rush anything, but it's got to be, you got to be looking for the early offense. Houston's got to be looking for the early offense. If it's not, you know what I mean? You can't play into the 12, 8. No. That's what Duke wants to do. Duke wants to, because the time, the clock is their friend right now. Okay, to the Hall of Fame, let's get this straight. I want people to get their flowers. I do. All right? But when it comes to Hall of Fame, that's the Hall of Fame. It's not the Hall of Good. It's not the Hall of Friends. And it's not a Lifetime Achievement Award. It's the Hall of Fame. You heard me? Right? Hall of Fame, and I was gonna say some things, but it just goes without saying. Okay? Because if I say, is Michael Jordan a Hall of Famer, those are almost fighting words. That you would even ask the question. Am I right? Is LeBron James a Hall of Famer? Is Kareem a Hall of Famer? Is Bill Walton a Hall of Famer? Excuse me, Bill Walton's questionable. Bill Russell is not questionable. If you even ask the question, I might have to come up beside your head for even asking the question. Because it goes without saying. And what I'm saying, vis-a-vis the Hall of Fame, is that is what it's about. Hall of Fame is about Mount Olympus, Mount Everest. When we talk about these halls of fame, we're talking about, and again, baseball gets it right. We're talking about the Cy Youngs, the Satchel Pages, the Babe Ruths, the Bob Gibsons, the Jackie Robinsons, the Joe DiMaggios, the Lou Gehrigs, the Sandy Koufaxes. That's what the Hall of Fame is about. Okay? That's how I feel about it. And we get in these conversations, well, you know what I did and you never played. That's not what we're talking about. We clearly, you know what I mean? And so what I'm getting at is Carmelo Anthony a first ballot Hall of Famer? No, he's not. Is Dwight Howard a first ballot Hall of Famer? No, he's not. Are they possibly Hall of Famers? In my view, yes, possibly. If we're keeping it a buck, if we're keeping it 100. Dwight Howard, 3 straight Defensive Player of the Year awards. That's his claim to fame as far as I'm concerned. After he left Orlando, it wasn't the same. Had his chances in Houston, did not do what he needed to do. Dwight Howard's Hall of Fame years were in Orlando, early in his career. Once he became a journeyman, once he became a gypsy, no. Carmelo Anthony's Hall of Fame years were in Denver. Yeah, he brought the Knicks to that one playoffs early on. Then it was a dumpster fire. Okay? Carmelo Anthony's year was it 04? I believe with the... No. 04 was Detroit's year. The last year that Chauncey, before the Chauncey to... All right, intentional foul. I don't have a problem with that. Keep your hands to yourself. All right. This is an opportunity for Houston, though. It's a big swing. Missing free throws, dog on it. Now they got a chance to, you had a chance to cut it to 7 or 6, possibly. We shall see. All right, but when, before Denver made the stupid deal to trade Chauncey to Detroit and begin there, huge bucket. Number 4 is just out there balling. All right, Houston is they got to get stops, but they giving themselves a chance. They got to shut Duke down. Frankly, this is what it comes down to. Duke wants to play late clock. Houston, you got to defend and you got to stop them. Big play. So I'm talking about now, Houston. Early offense. Did you just? We need a. Oh, he kicked it. He kicked it. He kicked it. Review that. Yeah, review. Yeah, it's off his foot. Review. No, that's a bad call. See, that's one of the. You can be reffing a great game and then you miss one. Okay. Good. Excellent. Great whistle by the official there. Great whistle by the official. See, that's what we call game management, folks. If you didn't know, because they booted one, they booted it. They didn't review it, and officials, you never want a team. Both teams have to have their chances. So they took away a crucial possession from Houston. They took away a crucial possession, right? Now, if Duke hits that three, that's a doggone. That's like a 6-point swing, a 5-point swing, because you took away a bucket you could have got, and they got a three. It's a 5-point swing. That's a huge swing in a tight game, okay? Because you didn't review it. Now, was that a little bit of a nickel dimer on the rebound? Big three. Okay, missed it. Okay, went for it, got it. Okay, you had your chance, you didn't make it. But yes, it was a nickel dimer on the rebound action there. Yes, it was a nickel dimer. But you're saying to yourself as a ref, you know what I mean? You got to be consistent. So Houston just got a nickel dimer over here with the missed kick. They got a nickel dimer, right? As an official, you're mindful of that. If I have a nickel dimer over here, I have to give it to, right? Duke got away with the nickel dimer. I have to give Houston a nickel dimer over here. All right, good. The referee schedule is. All right, good. Everybody's good for the, you don't want people. That's the worst feeling. People call you. Where the heck are you? I told you I wasn't coming. Those are the worst type of text to get. It's happened to me before. I felt really bad. Felt bad. Somebody's supposed to be there, but communication got mixed up, and you just were thinking other things, and then you don't make it. It's just a tough feeling. Hope everybody out there is doing well in television land. I appreciate my people that's rocking with me on the Facebook. I see you. Appreciate you. You know what I mean? Comment if you have anything. I don't know why the heck my IG keeps freezing. Okay, it's frozen. I don't know what the heck is going on. I ain't violated. I know IG is sensitive. I ain't violated, Mr. IG. I haven't violated, so don't. Where's my live at? Okay, so we good. Appreciate your IG. And we got a couple. When the game gets over, I got a couple because every time I have a few things, slice of life stuff that we like to incorporate. But every time I go to that, the way, because a lot of it, because IG just they be having, IG has bars. I'm sorry, they got bars. You know what I mean? And this is, I think it's instructive in terms of who we are as people. We get so offended sometimes, and we don't need to be as offended. This person supports this candidate. They have a right. It's America. We're a democracy. You have a right to support this candidate. They support that candidate. They have a right. It's America. You have a right. And then we talk about things. A lot of times we talk past each other. And you know what I mean? I think a lot of it, we are on the same page, but the way things are framed, we just, you support. How can you so you support? No, I don't support all this because I voted for this person. I support this, that, and third. I don't agree with that. Can we have a conversation? Same thing for you. Just because you voted for somebody, this person, I don't support this, that, but I vote for this. So let's have the conversation. Specific to IG, they got so many different things, but I find there's so many great content creators, and there's so much great just food for thought that I find on Instagram that just, I was like, man, that's interesting, kind of gets me to think. So the dream is in the building. The dream. Houston. Five Slammer Jammer is in the building. Five Slammer Jammer is back. Beautiful thing to see from generation to generation. And it's in San Antonio, so it's right in, the dream neck of the woods anyway, so it's a beautiful thing. Okay, Houston has a chance. Held him to one possession. Let's get into the offense. Calvin Sampson telling him, let's go. Let's go. Get into it. Get into our set. Okay. Big man. Finish it. There it is. 6-point game. Hey, this is what, hey. Now's the time, Houston. Let's get it. 8-0 run. We got to hold them to one. We got to defend. They want to play late into the clock. We got to stop them. Late. Now, Duke might have to speed it on up right now. James. Off his. Okay, here it is. Here's the run from Houston. Duke. Okay. So Duke, forget late clock. Duke, you got to just get buckets now. You got to get buckets. You got to, you know what I mean? Just get into your offense, and now it's a dogfight again. This could be a one-possession game. Houston, got to stay. There it is. Bunny, finish. Had the had the bunny. Houston to cut it to 4. Golly day. This is looking like Auburn and Florida now, folks. This is now. All bets are off now, folks. It's got to get it time now. It's got to get it. Mano y mano. We in the 13th round. You know what I mean? This is late. It's got to get it time. 4-point game. Hey, let's go. Let's go. Hey, I'm Calvin Sampson. I'm sorry for Duke Nation. I'm sorry. Either team lose, I'm hurt. But I want Kelvin to get a natty this year. That's what I want. I respect Shire. I want Kelvin to get a natty. Okay, Cooper. Space? Nope. Duke is one foul away from the bonus. Cooper, you had the shot. Had the Tim Duncan shot. You missed it. 4:37 to go. Anybody's ball game. This is what Houston has been grinding for. Now they got to, right? I feel like Houston has the momentum. We'll see if Duke can handle the pressure now. We got some pressure on Duke now. Okay, let's see if they can. Houston has dealt with being behind. Now they got to maintain their momentum. They got to hunt. If I'm Houston, we got to hunt right now. Rhythm. Okay, spread it out. 4 has it. Spread it out. Bad set. Tough shot. Bad possession. Bad. They didn't get into their stuff. You wasted a possession. Now Duke has they get back. If I'm Duke, forget the late clock stuff, John Shire. Get into a set. Let's go. John Shire's having the team is a little bit there. They don't know what to do. Stagnant. Proctor, bucket. Out of bounds. Okay, so Duke is a little bit phased now. You know, John, you know, they're looking at John. What the heck are we doing? If I'm John Shire, it's timeout. Do what you got. It's what you know, George Karl, coach I respect a lot. It's not always about running a play. It's about putting the players in position to make a play. Okay? When it comes down to it, Mike Malone is outstanding with this for the Nuggets. It's not about run. It's about putting play. So we have our theory, and these are the actions that we're looking for. Go get it. Duke, you done had your chance to play in the late clock and burn it. You missed it. Because if you're gonna play late clock, you have to execute. You didn't, and you lost some of your mojo. So you're playing in late clock, missing. Okay, Houston was able to come back early offense, looking. All right, so that's done. We set up a play. Somebody got to go get a bucket. Period. Then we got to get a stop. Okay, we're taking whatever we can get right now. Okay, no more holding the ball. No. This is the set. These are the actions. Execute or else. All right. And another thing that we have to say: next possession. It's huge. We don't get what we need when we want it. Next, don't kill yourself. Don't pout. Cry to the referees because you're kicking yourself right now. This is Bill Buckner time right now. These mistakes, you know what I mean? You want to shine, but you don't want to be the guy. What is it? Sleepy Floyd for Georgetown that threw the ball to the wrong person, right? That's on your resume. Chris Webber timeout. You can't get that back. Okay, but life goes on at the same time. Everybody gonna make mistakes. So you make a mistake in this point in time, next possession. I got to use the next one to get it. Okay, so that's where it is. And we are credited with we are credited with a tremendous, stupendous Final Four. It's a beautiful thing right now. So make no bones about it. I like what I'm seeing here in terms of the training. People is out there. This is bad production because I'm not focused where I need to be. I'm not on a live stream to be just checking, but I did want to check to see what's going on. All right. 3:44 to go. Anyone's ball game. Just like Florida and Auburn down the stretch. It was nip and tuck. Duke. That was a foul. Send Proctor to the line. Okay. It's a good free throw shooter. We'll see. We shall see. Not a really good free throw shooter, actually. He's under 70%. He's a good shooter. He's not a good free throw shooter. Interesting. All right. Buckets. Buckets. All right. Huge. Under 70%. Stepped to the line and didn't handle. All right, Houston. Still all or nothing for you guys. Okay? If it's not it's and buts, it's not a great possession. They kind of. No. Why would you, big guy, a hook shot from the free throw line? What the heck are we doing? Yeah, that's Houston's ball. I mean, Duke's ball. All right, so Houston with an empty possession. Need to stop. Duke has a chance to get that distance back. I don't see Maluch in the game. He needs to be in the game as far as I'm concerned. There it is. Flag. The flag, man. Huge three. Huge. Houston, you have to go. What are you doing? You look like you're punch drunk. Go. Get into it. No. Go. 5. Doggone it. A 3 contested. Rebound. Right into it. No. No. Get a good shot. Houston. Might need a timeout here. Call a play. Kelvin Sampson's got a scheme. All right, if you want to save your timeouts, If you want to save your timeout, Samson, you got to get them into something. All right, save the timeout, Kelvin. It's got to be quick. Get into you early. Okay? Sprint up. 12 seconds, right into it. 6. Nice job. Okay. 7 points. Duke, I wouldn't be too. Duke still got to go. Shia wants to play late clock. I don't blame him. 7-point game, but you got to get it. They're going to go late clock. 13. See, Duke has just, they keep letting Houston stick around. This is a huge stop right here. Freaking, they keep turning the ball over in their late clock possessions. John Shia, if I'm you, I understand what you're doing. The theory works, but they can't, you got to just get buckets. Let them play, don't emphasize late clock. Stupid foul. Duke is in the bonus. Or Houston's in the bonus. See? All right, assuming he makes these 2, 5-point game. If I'm Duke, right? As I said, all right, you can play for the late clock. You don't, another turnover, and they get a chance to cut it to a single possession game. So I get the ball into the front court, spread it out, and get right into your actions. Get right into your scoring actions. There's Maluch back. Pride of Sudan. Excuse me. Excuse me. No, there's no yawning on Sand City Sports, especially when the Final Four is on. No yawning. What are we talking about here? What are we talking about? All right. Anybody's ball game. Find no solace in that 5-point lead if I'm the Blue Devils. Like I said, they got to beat the pressure, right, and get right into what they're doing. Beat it. Not sure. Okay, here we go. Anybody's game. They say the credit belongs to the man that's in the arena. Who's going to step up? Flag man has been. Houston doesn't have any fouls to give, okay? So no stupid fouls. They're going with pressure. They can't have any stupid fouls. Defeats the purpose. Okay, Duke burning a timeout. All right. So Houston is I love the energy. Like in football, okay, it's down the stretch. It's mano a mano. We bringing the blitz, man. It's mano a mano. We're bringing that blitz package. All right. You better ask somebody. You're running back. You better not miss that block. We bringing that blitz package. All right, force Duke to burn a timeout. Now again, you can't have any stupid fouls because you're in the bonus. So you're in pressure. They're in pressure coverage. We gotta spread them out. Same thing. Can't move. Oh, you can't move. Ah! Houston ball. A foul? Oh, yeah. What are you doing? No, you fouled him. And that's exactly what we just talked about. Holding him here, bellying up there. What do we eat? Then you look to... You can't... All right, Coop. Number 1 pick. Man. Coach K with the look on his face. Coach K got the Chi-Town look on his face. Yeah, Coach K is in his zone right now. He's in his zone right now. Coop. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my gracious. Long way to go. Houston, you did it to yourself. Stupid full court foul. You got to, I don't know if he was fouled on the shot action. Let's go ahead and see that replay. Just because you fall to the ground don't mean you're fouled. Straight up, he's good. Oh, yeah, Cooper gave him a little bit of body. Yeah, that's the foul. That's a foul. Cooper with the body, right? Because you got to stay here. You can't be here. You got to be vertical. Coop wasn't vertical, all right? And then Maluch went 12-6. Anytime you start here and go down, unless it's all ball, you're probably gonna get a foul. Call that 12-6. All right? And that, not probably, because you can come here but past the player. But if you 2 big free throws, I wouldn't. They're still pressuring. A technical foul. He came over the line. He hit the ball. Are you kidding me? Oh, my God. I respect Kelvin kind of being true to his roots with the pressure, but they can't handle it. They can't handle it. Because first of all, what have we seen the last 2 possessions? You got the stupid foul on Cooper. You're holding him and you're riding him. Before he even touches the ball, basketball's a freedom of movement sport. Every player has a right to a space on the floor provided they get there first and legally. Freedom of movement. You cannot belly up. It's by rule. Now, again, we go by the spirit, not the letter. So the referee, so especially in the post, you can lean, you can do all the rest of that stuff. But if he hasn't even got possession and you're holding and leaning to allow him to get possession, it's just clear. It's not even a question. Foul. You held him to get to the ball. Then as he's going for the ball, you're on his hip, disrupting his balance, creating an advantage. Give space. Let him get the ball, and then you can belly up if you have lightning quickness. But when you belly up, as soon as that player moves and you don't move with him and they go right, unless the offensive player is not just going to charge right into you, they're going to cut and they're going to move at an angle, right? So you're bellying up. I shake it up and I move this way. You're behind. So the contact is here on your shoulder. That's a block. There's contact. It wasn't the torso by rule block when you belly up. So if you're going to do that, you have to have lightning, cat-like quickness to be able to anticipate any movement. Houston is still pressing. Thank you. Now they come back into their 3-quarter court. You just gave 4 points away with stupidity in that press. Good pressure. Good. No stupid fouls. You got to defend without fouling. It's going to be a late clock situation. 9 to Kneppel. Straight up. Straight up. Good block. Let's go. Good set. Don't rush early. Don't rush it. Get into your offense. Move it. Move it. Good. Now there's the offense. There it is. There it is. Excellent set. There, one possession game. See that? We saw what just happened. We got into the early offense. We moved it. Okay? Come back. Shook him off the three-point line. Rhythm. Clink, clink. And a good defensive possession. Pressure. We got to be straight up. We're not going to bail him out. Kneppel, who's a 6'7", he's guarded by a 6'7" guy. Took a contested shot. Missed it. Tap out. Right into our offense. One possession game. Houston, do not shoot your doggone self in the foot. Okay? A little bit of pressure to see if you can get them to make a mistake. Then come back to three-quarter court. Don't foul on the inbound pass. Unless you're Darrell Revis and can anticipate and get an interception, or a turnover, don't foul on the inbound. They're going to get the ball inbounds. If you have a chance for a trap, take it. If not, back up and make them earn a bucket. You gave away 4 points with stupidity. You're down 3. You could have been up 1. Again, now you don't want to be in woulda, coulda, shoulda mode, but it is what it is. Teams with 1 timeout. Houston, a little bit of pressure, and then we what are we at right now? We at that mano-a-mano. This come down to mano-a-mano right now. All right, 2 very good programs. 2 Shire's on his way to being outstanding. Kelvin, you know what I mean? But outstanding, I'll give both of them outstanding. They're in the Final Four. But now, you know what I mean? Not the critic who counts. It's the men that's in the arena. You got to go out there and get it. All right, Duke. Get it in. Deflection. It's good. Kelvin wants 5 seconds. Was it? Can you review a 5-second call? I don't know. We'll see. This is unique. Oh, it's not. They're not reviewing the 5 seconds. They're reviewing the out of bounds. I can dig it. I don't think you can view it with 5 seconds. Yeah, it looks like Looks like we're staying Duke. Looks like we're staying Duke. I like that they can review 5 seconds. Even though that's a tough one for the refs, because you're counting, there's no clock. The clock's not moving, so you have to count 1, 2. So your count has to be 4. Your count has to be, you have to have the correct motion and the correct So that's a tough, Whereas the front court and the back court, front court and the back court violation, front court and the back court. The back court violation is timed by the official clock. So once that ball is inbounded, the official clock will have that number. All right, no stupid fouls, Houston. Nothing stupid. Oh boy. Houston, Oh boy. There's pressure. Duke is on the Rizmopes. Nothing stupid. And Houston fouling. Oh boy. Missed the three, went for broke. Tip dunk. Folks, this is in the balance right now. Proctor for the 1-and-1. Either way, we got one possession for all the marbles. He on the 1-and-1. What? What are we doing? No, nickel dimer. Nickel dimer. Nickel dimer. Nickel dimer. What are we doing? No. 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 That's not a shooting foul. 20 seconds to go. Getting caught in the soil. You wait on that one. Oh, because he leaned? What are you doing? It's a terrible call. Terrible. No. You see what I'm saying? You take a possession away with a call like that. It didn't affect anything. He's leaning. He's here. Didn't affect anything. Got big guys. Let that play through. Nickel dimer. Okay, here we go. Now we might have to have a nickel dimer here. He made the 2 free throws. But from an officiating standpoint, no, absolutely not. And let's get we're not talking USA basketball anymore. Once we can get this on the screen, we can get that for you off the screen. Right? You understand what I'm saying from an official extent? And these are all great officials, deserving. That was okay. You can use all the adjectives. All right. On that action, you see, there's no advantage. It's one thing on that, like he tipped the ball. It's one, if Cooper would have gotten the ball and fallen on the guy, then you step in. Okay? But it's 2 guys, they're here. He's big, and he just reaches up and taps it back. Let that play out. You don't stop it. You let it play out. Houston might still get the ball and what advantage was even gained? It's a minimal advantage. You got 2, he's just quicker to the ball. Right? But on that, and the other guy didn't even attempt to get the ball. So Cooper's just quicker for the live ball. If the other guy, the Houston player had went up and then not been able, right? If I try, right? What I'm trying to say is, for over the back, if the player just jumps and you're here, but he reaches over you, but you're not in that space, it's not your space. Okay? Every player has a right to a space on the floor, provided they get there first and legally. When a taller player reaches, okay, but the smaller player is just looking and is not in that space, he doesn't have a right to that space. So on that foul on Cooper, okay, the other player he's not in that space, so he can reach and very bad. Oh my goodness. Here we go, folks. Cooper, rhythm. Was he hit? Duke is not fouling. Cooper wasn't hit. Spin. No. Just short. No foul. No foul. Good D. Short. Houston with the rebound. Duke took some time to foul. Nope. That was a foul. What are we doing? Foul again. Okay. Yeah, you missed like 2 fouls. They fouled like 3 times. What foul did you? Okay. There's the miss, 8 seconds. Foul. Nate James fouled at 6. Canepo fouled at 5. And he fouled at 4. Goodness. Again, from an officiating standpoint, if you think the players have jitters, the officials have jitters as well. All that being said, no excuses. No excuses. Now, from our standpoint, we're like, crazy because this game has been swung on a 50-50 call. Houston did make the 2 free throws. They have to make free throws. They did not deserve 2 free throws. They did not deserve 2 free throws. But, so, right? Nickel dimer, that gave Houston advantage. They took advantage of the advantage. Okay. Now, you got to come in. I don't think Duke has any timeouts. They got to go for broke. Okay, Duke, no timeouts. You got to get something. You got time to get something. Game's not over. The game is not over. Oh, my goodness. What are you doing? That's it, folks. It's tough. It's tough right now. So let's cut right to the quick in terms of what happened in this game. And we're going to go from the end back. That was a terrible. You're down 3. That was awful. That play. You're down 3 with 3.7 seconds left. So you have a chance to get a good shot. We're going to get back to the call because the call didn't decide this game. It didn't decide the game. It swung the game. It did not decide the game. Let's keep it a buck right now, folks. We're working backwards. Awful possession. You have 3.7 seconds left. You have the ball on your baseline. This is, again, young coach, old coach. Duke did not have a play for that situation. They did not. And the reason that this is instructive, folks, let's flash back when Nova beat North Carolina and Michael Jordan shed tears. Let's flash back to that. Okay? Did they have a play in mind? A little bit of a different circumstance because I don't believe that North Carolina pressured them. There might have been three-quarter, but it's neither here nor there. It's neither here nor there. Pressure, no pressure makes no difference. You need to have a play for either of those scenarios in that situation. You do. Period. So people want to talk. This is immediate. We're immediately breaking down what the heck just happened right here on Sand City Sports. Buying for the people, the fans. The refs did not decide that game. They did not decide the game. No. Did they swing the game? Yes. But no decision. What's the difference? The difference is that was a nickel dimer on Cooper. That was a play on. They got it wrong. They gave Houston 2 free throws. Houston made the 2 free throws. So they took advantage. Right? Duke has an additional possession. Cooper spinning. Not a good shot. They didn't get the rebound. Again to the referees. Could have been a foul with 6 seconds. Nate James fouled. Didn't call it. Canepo fouled. Didn't call it. Finally got the one on Proctor with 3.7. All right, so you go from 5 and change to 3 and change, a 2-second difference. It makes no, it's neither here nor there. 3-7, you can still get a good shot. You inbound it 1, you skip it 2. Now you have 2 some odd seconds to get something. Right? So they're pressuring you. You want to get an inbound at the hash mark so it's 3. I get the inbound at the hash at 3. I skip it here. So now this person has on the move. If I get a catch, skip, they got 2 seconds to get a shot. That's time to get something. I don't care. You have time. And with the pressure, the other reason why that was crazy to just throw it over the top is you could just get it here and they'll foul you. Correct? So Duke had 3.7 seconds with a chance to tie it that they just threw away. That was awful. That was an awful possession. You didn't have anything in mind. And frankly, what that showed me additionally is the more talented team, the overall better team, and we saw this, right? In a close game, blinked. Because before the bad call, Duke was up 3 and just turned the ball over. Duke was gifted 4 points on terrible possessions. The technical foul and the Cooper flag foul were just terrible possessions in response to their pressure. But when they pressured and didn't foul, Duke blinked. Proctor missed a free throw. He missed the free throw. And then the bad call happened along with that. Okay, so those are up. I know the refs, they swung the game, but you left that door open. Proctor makes the free throws. We're not having this conversation. So don't tell me the refs, no. You turned the ball over. Duke, you did it to yourself. When the pressure was on, you did that. You missed the free throw. And you threw the ball away with 3.7 seconds left. That's what you did. The refs messed up the call on Cooper. And the refs could have given you a little bit more time. It could have been 5 or whatever seconds. Neither here nor there. I have no idea what the heck you were thinking. You weren't thinking. You didn't have something. They didn't have a play with 3.7 seconds left in response to the pressure. A hook or whatever. Something to scheme somebody open, and it has to be 3-point line, extended hash. You need to throw an advanced pass. Somebody, what did we just talk about? Man coverage. What did we just say? We just said this previously. You can't beat the man coverage. You're coaching, you're selling car insurance. Somebody from Duke had to get open at the hash mark some kind of a way. Somebody had to get open. And they couldn't. It's tough, right? I would have been, sad to a certain extent if Houston lost. Coach Sampson, been sad. I'm sad for the Blue Devils. Cooper, a very good team. The most talented team in the tournament, in my view. A worthy national champion. They didn't execute. My connection, it's stable. We're continuing forward. They didn't execute. That's why they lost the game. Okay? They were they got a bad call. Yes, they did. Duke got a bad call. They got a tough deal. They still had a chance to Cooper had a chance, even after the bad call, to take the lead. You're only down 1. He took a fall away. You could attack the rim. I know, Cooper, you took a fall away. You know what I mean? You could have schemed up something where you're attacking the rim. I'm not, you didn't. You're only down 1. You took a fall away. You basically gave the ball to your best player and say, go get me a bucket. No. I need an action. Not just give it to Cooper. I need Cooper here, somebody else there. To the basket. This is just an ISO. No. No, Cooper, we didn't need a fall away. We needed, if anything, right? You see on that, he could have up faked him. And now hindsight's 2020. But all I'm saying is it's a 1-point game. Let's get something going towards the basket, right? Now I'm not, right? Cooper, he hooks, you know what I mean? Little hook, we ain't calling that. But up fake him. Get him, Now you're going with 2 freebies. You're only down 1. Something to the basket. Okay, to put pressure on them. I don't need a 3. And if it's a wide open 3, then take it. Fine. You know what I mean? Like a skip where you're just so open, then take that. But don't take a contested shot when you to the basket. Put yourself to the line. And then I can't get over the last play just throwing. You threw that away. You didn't throw. You threw it away. That's what Houston would. Houston, if they could just ask, what would you like? Even more, just throw it in the air. Just throw a jump ball. They're all freaking hound dogs on Houston. You gonna throw a jump ball? All these 6, we had talked about Houston. They all run like 5, 15 miles. They're all gazelles. You're just gonna throw it up and just see who's gonna get it? Of course they're gonna be the first to the ball. There's only 2 things in sports. What did Pat Riley say? There's winning and there's misery. So the Houston folks are, that's, you know what I mean? That's my pick. I have them in my brackets. I'm pulling for, there's no 2 ways about it. Florida is dangerous. But this is Kelvin Sampson's year. It's in the Lone Star State. He, you know what I mean? He put his time in. John Shire will be back. Okay? He's going to be back. It happens. Zion did not get a chance to get his natty. Karl Anthony Towns, Devin Booker didn't chance to get their natty. Cooper, it hurts. I get you. All right, you move on. You have a good career. You know what I mean? A great career, possibly. You know, and you take this hurt, this pain with you. But it was a great game to really, you know, and Houston was the less talented team, but the more together team down the stretch. That's why they won. That was a nickel dimer. Bad call on Cooper. It's a bad call. Bad call. They had a possession. He took a fall away to the basket. That was not a good possession. I don't care anybody. It was not. Not a good shot, not a good possession. It wasn't. He's, you know, falling back, and, you know, the guy is right there. No, that was not a good possession. You should have had more time, but you had 3-7. You had enough time to get something. That's a lot of time. Hash mark, skip. If I catch it at the hash mark and I immediately skip it here, that guy has 3 seconds with a running start. 3, you know, that's either a 3 or a drive and kick action. You know, you just threw it up, threw it away. The more together team won tonight. More talented team, the star power team lost. And, you know, it is what it is. We have a great finals. Again, youth, Mr. Golden, 39. Experience, Sampson, 69. 30-year difference. And the better team is going to win. And we're looking forward to it. We are most certainly looking forward to it. This is a beautiful thing. Sand City, we doing this on the Final Four. We close to 3 hours. I'm seeing some things. So what am I doing here? This is bad. This is bad. I just want to see if we have any slice of life stuff before we get up and out of here. We got some hoops going on. What I like to see, we got hoops going on. But let's we finishing on, we're not finishing on too much of a. Let me see if we going to do any slice of life stuff. We might have to save. I think we're going to save. .9% of brackets have Houston winning. Count me amongst those. I'm a part of that, small contingent, I guess. Small but mighty. Shout out to Coach Sampson. Yeah, this I almost get the feeling, right? I almost feel a little bit like the UNLV loss in 91 against Duke in the Final Four. When UNLV was the world beaters, and they had crushed Duke the year before, and then Duke of Grant Hill fame. Check out the alley-oop that Bobby Hurley threw to Grant Hill to start the game. But of Larry Johnson, Stacey Augmon, Greg Anthony, amongst others. And they lost to Duke in the Final Four, and there was questionable call down the stretch, how could you make that call? And obviously Duke is not on that level because they haven't won a national championship the year before. Like UCLA was just dominant, dominance. And we're the better team going up against a very talented team, but UNLV was better that day. Duke, had the Grant Hills and the Bobby Hurleys and the Christian Laettners, but they weren't better than UNLV that day, but they won the game. And so in this game, the better team loses. There's a questionable call that people can point to, but that didn't decide the game. Okay, it was a questionable call. It went against Duke. They put them in a disadvantaged situation, but they're down one. They still have 14 seconds. They still have a whole possession to get something. They didn't. And they have another possession to get something else. They didn't. I don't know what to tell you. And Houston went to the free throw line and made all their free throws. Okay? Now, again, ifs and buts were candy and nuts. Once you get in a situation, you're in the situation. Never mind the turnover that Duke had to take away a possession. Never mind the fact that Proctor missed the free throws. Once you get in a situation, you're in that situation. And now Duke had to execute as the more talented team with their back up against the wall, and they couldn't. That is the overarching narrative. No disrespect, no shade on anybody. They did not get good possessions when their backs were against the wall. They did not. They did not have really good possessions when they had the lead and they were under some pressure. Because let's remember, all the way before that, Kelvin Sampson rightfully put pressure on and they made mistakes, like a technical foul, are you kidding me? And a stupid foul on Cooper. So they gifted Duke some more possessions with their pressure. And then once they finally stopped, were just pressured and didn't foul, Duke just gave the ball away. Come on. You're the more talented team. But you saw some youth. Cooper, for all his talent, is a freshman. Kneppel, for all his talent, is a freshman. Maluch, for all his talent, is a freshman. Okay, Proctor, we need some, and Proctor, you're the junior, you're the veteran. Yeah, that's you. And look at the set that Houston got when they're down 6. A great set. Then what does Duke do? Turn the ball over. What does Houston do? Get a chance to tie? No. Tip dunk. Hush. 5-point swing right there. Proctor missed it. Bad call. Bad call. Bad call. But Sampson went to the line and made him pay. Cooper, that was just not a great possession. And you had time. That's not a good possession. I'm sorry. It's not. It's not a good possession. And they should have, and that was just even worse possession. Just, two things. There's winning and misery. You know what I mean? Shire's going to be back. Duke's going to be back. Another thing, Tom Izzo, to borrow. He says, in sports, the highs are very high and the lows are very low. So again, had Duke been marching on, I think that would have been more appealing, if you will, bigger brand, all that stuff, and the brotherhood, right? We would have, that would have been, the two young coaches in the finals, and so on and forth. So but we have a great finals, even still. And Wilt Chamberlain wrote the book. What did he write? Nobody roots for Goliath. Okay. We saw in this instance, Goliath has some work to do. They have some work to do. Okay. Because the talent is there. The togetherness was not there. The execution was not there. They look like freshmen. Okay. When it got into the nitty gritty, even with the lead under 4, under 2, they looked like freshmen. They were nervous. And Houston came at as with some more experience, got at them, and shook them up. Okay? They're going to go forward. They're going to be successful. Great. But that's the instructive point for, they say, Rome not built in a day. Michael Jordan, not a diaper dandy, not a one and done. The greatest of all time was not a one and done. That foundation was established in Carolina over 3 seasons. And he had some growing pains. And he didn't make it back to the national championship after his freshman year, even when they were loaded in 84. So he had some heartache. But that was the foundation for the greatest of all time. Let's remember, Steph Curry, not a one and done, not an NIL ruler. Those quiet years at Davidson in anonymity. My hero, one of my heroes, Ken Burns, talks about poverty and anonymity. That's what where his documentaries come from. Poverty and anonymity. Okay, and so Duke is experiencing some of those things right now. It's a very tough loss, very difficult. But you did it to yourself. Not the nickel dimer call that did not decide it. You still had some chances. I want to tell you. I appreciate everyone that's rocking with us on Sand City Sports. We had some comments, man. What's good? We had some commentary, my people. Steph Curry, not a one and done. Yeah, that's me talking. That's me talking. I'm still talking. We still out the refs. Houston was the better team. Okay, I see. We you know what I mean? They said it was the refs. People saying it was the refs that did the game, calling everything on Duke. Houston was the much better team. I can't rock with you. I think they were the more together team. I think Duke was the more talented team. I appreciate this commentary from people that's rocking with me on Sand City Sports. Yeah. And the people that's still with us as we wind down, much love, much appreciation. And we talked about it, and we're talking about it. I broke it down, and I'll say it, right? Duke was at a disadvantage, but they did not decide the game. That was a bad call on nickel dimer, on Coop. Okay, that did not decide the game. You're down 1 with 15 seconds to go. You're down 1. Get to the free throw line. They didn't run, and they just gave it to Cooper and said, Cooper, get a bucket. There was no action. You know, it was just an ISO contested shot. No. And you have time. They had time. You know, he didn't need to take that shot with 10 seconds, a contested shot, kick it out, get it back. Just go to the basket. The refs already know they disadvantage you with the nickel dimer. They're not going to let you get bopped again. You have the ball. You're only down one. You're only down one. You don't need to force a shot with 10 seconds. Kick it out, get it back. Now it's 7 seconds. It doesn't matter. It's just a 1-point game. So it does matter. It's just a 1-point game. But let me get something going. I'm coming at you. I'm forcing the contact, forcing the issue. I know he's Cooper flag. That wasn't a good possession. It wasn't. For all the aforementioned, it wasn't a good shot. And you still had more time to use to keep the ball only down one in your possession. To get something, to keep something. And then the Hail Mary full of grace. Just throwing it up. It's a one-possession game. You have a chance. So that's what it comes down to. Let's flash forward, folks. I'm going to give, not going to do any slice of life stuff. I noted, I feel good, and again, it's, yeah, man. So there's a lot going on in the world. Whole heck of a lot. Keep track and get involved, and let's support each other and have community as much as possible. And it's on. It's election season and baseball season, and it's a lot of civic life going on right now. It's a beautiful thing. Back to basketball specifically. Let's get on track now. Houston, Florida. Houston beat the best team tonight in the tournament. They beat the best team. All right. Okay, we got to make sure what's going on. We got situation. All right. Got a situation, a lot of situations. I got to look, some involving our schools. So I got to check on that and see what's going on. I have to see what's going on. Specific to basketball. Apologize for the, because I'm here and I'm there. That's not good. Houston beat the best team in the tournament tonight. And no nickel dimer. We're not doing that because I didn't decide the game. They stayed close to Duke, right? Duke had 12-point leads. Duke had a chance, Both teams had their opportunities, which is why this was a great game. From Duke's standpoint, with that 12-point lead, I thought Shire did a good job of slowing the game down. They did not execute. A couple just gave possessions away, just dribbled it. You just gave possessions away. When you had a chance with that 12-point lead and these late clock situations to push that game out of reach, you didn't take advantage of it. Within that phase of the game, when Duke did not take advantage with the double-digit lead, under 10 minutes to go, 7 minutes to go, they did not take advantage, okay? That's when Houston did take advantage and schemed up some very good possessions to stay within striking distance. 9, 7. Right? So yes. That's where Houston earned this W, being able to withstand. Now, Florida is not as talented as Duke. Let's get that straight from right now. Clayton is a monster. Okay, but Florida, pound for pound, is not as talented as Duke. Duke is the most talented team in the tournament. I'm standing by that. But Florida, we know they're going to get buckets. They can get buckets. Okay? I think, talking about this Florida game, right? And they were, Auburn had them under wraps. And then Florida made the move to come back. Okay? Then Florida said, you know something, we're going to get this right. Okay? That's where Houston, you're not going to sleep on this team just because you beat the best team. You're not going to sleep on them at all. At all. Okay? Don't again put yourself in that same situation, down double digits or down and rely on Florida to make mistakes, because Duke has, this is the first time they've been up against it. Really, they handled Alabama, even, you know what I mean, right? Florida was getting beat down by Texas Tech. Florida was up against the ropes against Auburn. So to Houston's point, just because you beat the Kingmakers, just because you beat the big boys on the block, and I know you're not going to sleep because, you know what I mean, you need to level up. You need to put Florida in that same situation and do, unlike what Texas Tech did, make your free throws like Houston did tonight down the stretch to get yourself a natty. I want Kelvin Sampson to win this natty. I respect Golden. I respect Shire. I was pulling for Bruce Pearl. I want my veterans to get a natty. I said it. I'm standing by it. And Kelvin is the number one vet. So I'm Houston all the way. Okay, but case in point, Florida is gonna come out and, you know what I mean, they can put it on you. They put it on UConn. They've been, so Houston, after having withstood the onslaught from Duke and learned, because I can't stress this enough, Duke had them up double digits, under 10, going into their late clock offense. If they, as Proctor did, on one possession, go to the basket, get to the line to keep it at 12 or 14 or whatever it was. If Duke had continued to do this, we wouldn't be having this conversation. If Duke had kept late clock attacking the basket, forcing the issue, either we're going to go to the line or we're going to scheme wide open threes. Did Cooper hit the wide open three in the corner to put them up 8-9? Under 5 or thereabouts? He did. Okay? So to this championship game, Houston, you got to continue to level up. And I expect to see Houston with the lead, coming down under 10 minutes and forcing Florida to the test to see what they can do. We know that they can score. Okay, but Houston, get your behind out there, defend that 3-point line, hold them to one shot. All right, and then make your free throws. All right, and don't mess around, Houston. All right, in terms of your offense. Get, Houston, particularly in the second half. I tip my hat to Kelvin Sampson. Open up your doggone offense. All right, you're going in this game. We can score with Florida. We can score with you. Houston proved they can score with the best scoring team, if not in the country. Bucket for bucket. All right? And then we'll see, for Houston's standpoint, should you put yourself in a position to be up double digits and then you want to go into some late clock offense, you got to execute. If you can't execute late clock offense, then just keep doing what you were doing. Duke, Shire made the right decision to slow it down. But they couldn't play in that slower Big East Virginia style of Duke. When it wasn't just running gun, they struggled in those late clock situations with just stupid mistakes. So if you can't do it, then just keep doing what you're doing to get buckets. It's my feeling. Keep after it. All right? Right? The best man, not the best storyline, is going to win. All right? Houston, never mind for Kelvin Sampson. Saying, what the heck just happened? (15-3) rally in the final 2 minutes. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. So I appreciate we winding down here. I'm appreciating all the folks that's rocked with us on this Sand City. This is a beautiful thing for Sand City on this check-in, 3-hour check-in. Beautiful thing. Love to do it. Passion project all day, every day. We were really fortunate with just 2 outstanding Final Four matchups, both down to the wire. Okay, not the critic who counts; it's the men that's in the arena. So you tip your hat to both proud programs. Okay, there's pain out there, right? In the land of the Tigers. Pain out there, land of the Blue Devils. Okay? What do they say sometimes? They say, champagne from a real friends and real pain from a sham friends. Shout out to Monty Brogan. Shout out to 25th Hour. 25th Hour, a Spike Lee joint written by one Mr. David Benioff. You know who David Benioff is. If you don't know, you do know who David Benioff is because you know Game of Thrones. And David Benioff and D.B. Weiss, creator of Game of Thrones. You know David Benioff. Before the Game of Thrones fame, he was still doing what he was doing, chasing his passion, being creative, being dynamic, making contributions. And he wrote 25th Hour, which is, again, a Spike Lee, one of the, just undercover. It's a Spike Lee joint. It's just a very good movie. Edward Norton, Barry Pepper, the late, great Philip Seymour Hoffman, 25th Hour. And so, yeah, we're off and running. We are off and running. A lot of things going on, in the world. It is what it is. Let's hope that these things that are going on can bring us closer together, not further apart. We can have conversations and get on the same page, and agree to disagree when it's necessary. That's life. Okay, we're gonna have to agree to disagree. On this Final Four. Respect to Duke, respect to Auburn. I'm thrilled for my the Houston Cougars. That's been my team. Start from the beginning. It's my team in my brackets. I stand to win a little bit. It is what it is. If I win, if I lose, because I'm going with how I feel about it. And I want this one for Coach Sampson. So let's get it. Okay, folks. I am your host, the Cape Cod Kid. Thank you so much for tuning into Sand City Sports over 3 hours on this edition. I appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. And we will see you again the next time. Peace.